If you love ACOTAR, Throne of Glass, or anything that mixes romance with a dash of fantasy, we call that romantasy. Okay. Also, if you love dark, moody, multifunctional spaces like this, well then buckle into your dragon because this makeover is for you. I can feel the magic. Let's get into it, editor. Roll the tape and bring me my dragon. Ooh. Boop. This video is sponsored by AG1. DIY friends, welcome back and Happy New Year! We are starting this year off strong with a renter-friendly office/reading room combo makeover for the newest member of the DIY in Progress team, Vanessa! Yes, you heard that right. Your girl finally decided to level herself up and give herself 2 more arms behind the scenes, and I couldn't be happier about it, which I will quickly note that with Vanessa now on board, my schedule will be returning to weekly episodes again as of February. Yay! So let's meet Vanessa and I'll let her show you why we are making over her lovely office space and what she's looking for.
Hi everyone, I'm Vanessa. Welcome to my office. The space does not reflect what I feel like I want to see in an office or just my vibe. I definitely would like a better space to keep all of my books because right now they're kind of all teetering on this little shelf. So I really want to see like this big bookshelf just to hold all of my fantasy books and my knickknacks. I almost exclusively read fantasy books. So I want an element of that to come out in the design and the style. I also need a new desk. This one is just not effective. It's quite wobbly, honestly. And the last thing that I'm dealing with is this little closet, also known as my cat's litter box. Another challenge I have with this space is that we are actually renters. So that means we need to find DIYs that are renter friendly. That means no permanent changes. So because we are renting, we do want to keep it white because it is easier, but I like a little bit of dark academia. I like whimsy. I like little girly pop pink, but I don't know how to do that. What do I do?
I love this makeover for so many reasons. One, because she and I love all the same kind of books, a girl to my romantasy-filled heart. Second, I think so many people like her are renters and don't know where to start when creating a space that celebrates a style of a nerdy vibe without making massive changes that's going to be a headache to change back when they choose to move out, which is inevitably a thing. And I get it. The idea of repainting a space can just feel so daunting, even just down to having to remove peel and stick wallpaper from a wall. Let's try to avoid those things. So based on Vanessa's breakdown, here are my goals for this space. I want to make it feel moody without painting the walls. Let's keep this a renter-friendly option. Provide a new book storage solution and consider future books. Replace the desk. Add a place for cozy reading. Consider cat closet. And inject all the decor styles that she loves. Dark academia, witchy fantasy, bright color pops, and neon moments. Easy. All we gotta do is use a little bit of magic, and I happen to have that. It was day 1 of office makeover, and I was starting with solving Vanessa's desk. I'm so excited to nerdify this desk! Woohoo! I want to build a custom desk so that I can inject some nerdy elements into the room to celebrate all of the fantasy books that she loves. Her favorite author was Sarah J. Maas, so I thought it would be fun to bring an element from these books to this desk. You know, just a wee little thing. You'll see. To build the desk, I'm starting with this beautiful piece of solid 1-inch acacia wood butcher block that measures 72 by 25 inches. Vanessa mentioned she liked that her desk was under the window, and I felt this placement worked, but I wanted to give her some extra workspace, so I'm making it into an L shape to fit right into the corner. Now to do that, I simply removed material from the end because this desk does not need to be 72 inches long, and I also shortened the width of the desk a little, again because the desk doesn't need to be a width of 25. I actually matched the width of her original desk, which she felt was perfectly fine. Like 2 mates meant to be together, this desk is gonna be one. I needed to attach my 2 pieces, and I did so using a healthy amount of wood glue and clamps. While I wait on the glue up to dry, I got started on the extra support I'll be adding to this joint afterwards to help brace it. Now to do that, I'm using a flat steel, which I cut into two 12-inch pieces and then use my drill press to help drill holes into it for the hardware. We're waiting on the desktop to dry, so I want to get started on planning out the sword detail and maybe like, I was thinking it's like magic vines. Okay, let's put this into English. My idea for this desk was to engrave a sword detail on the top and include these kind of trailing magical elements around it. The sword that I'm using for this design is the Galdron sword, which was Aelin Ashriver Galathinius' sword in the series of Throne of Glass. It's one of my favorites, and I thought that this is a fun way to kind of add a geeky touch without being like, this is Throne of Glass, because ultimately it'll just kind of read fantasy for those who don't know. And even if Vanessa looks at this sword and she sees something completely different, that's fine too. My answer will just be yes, that is exactly what it is. I also thought it would be cool to do Nesta's sword Ataraxia, but I kind of love the round hilt of the Galdron sword, so I'm going with it. So this was the final design I roughly mapped out, and I gotta say, I was excited. So we're still waiting on that glue up to dry, but I thought we could just take a moment to talk about the new year ahead and making healthy resolutions, which is why I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's episode, AG1. And it is because of this daily habit that was actually my personal resolution last year, and it has made long makeover projects like this one easier to take on. And I have been a huge fan of AG1 from the beginning. So many people ask me, is it really as good as they say it is? And my answer is always yes. Yes, it's genuinely the best routine, the best habit other than exercise that I have ever given to myself. Now, 1 scoop of AG1 per day supports energy, digestive regularity, immune defense, and a healthy mood. So I am always ready to take on what the day and this year has in store for me. Now, we are stepping into a new year, so now is the time to introduce a new habit that's going to help you feel at your best, and this is the one you want to stick to. And trust me, you drink this every day, you will feel much more energized, your gut will feel regular, you will be less bloated, and I say this with every genuine fiber in my body. I don't think I could live without this anymore. And it's so simple. Every morning you just mix your AG1 powder supplement with water, shake it up, and that's it. You're good to go. As always, I can only speak to my own personal experience in starting my AG1 journey, but it makes a difference. I mean, I don't crave coffee nearly as much as I used to. I don't feel that afternoon 3 p.m. crash anymore, and I just genuinely feel good, and I love feeling good. I mean, most New Year's resolutions are hard to maintain, but AG1 is one of the easiest things you can do for your health. It comes with a 30-day supply straight to your door every month, so you won't run out or forget. My friends, there is no right time for better health, there's just now. So use my link in the description box or scan the QR code on screen to subscribe and save $20 off your first subscription to AG1. I'm gonna drink this, but let's get back to the DIY, eh? Oh my God, that was so Canadian. It was much later into the day when I felt confident enough to flip my desk over because I wanted to route out sections where the steel braces were going to sit. I was removing just the thickness of the brace so it would sit flush into the bottom of the desk. Once I was done, I also tinted DAP's premium wood filler with the wood stain Jacobine and filled in the groove where the glue up was made just to ensure that that glue up line would completely disappear. I let that dry and gave the board a quick sand. Of course, you know I would never make a custom desk without adding a recessed plug system, so I cut out my hole for that using my jiggity saw. Then as a final step to my day, I wanted to map out my design on the top of the desk, starting with my sword, which I printed, then added carbon paper underneath that allowed me to trace the sword right onto the desk. also ended up adding a light wash using my acrylic paint technique, which only further warmed the wood and made the color look just a little bit more uniform. This is something I did on my Samantha dresser, so if you want to learn more about that, I will link that video up above and you can check it out. Now comes my favorite part. Let's make those engravings shine using a gold foil oil-based paint pen. Again, this process was so satisfying, so fun, and seeing that sword detail come to life was just like pure body chills. I still have chills feeling it. Like, can you see it? Can you see my chills? And when that was fully dry, the desk got 2 layers of satin poly finish with a light sand in between. So let's talk about that book storage. Vanessa needed a new storage solution for her books as well as books to come. I also needed to solve the challenge of making a space feel moody to give it that dark academia vibe that she wanted. So I was like, we need bookshelves and we need a lot of them to take up wall space. My solution was the Billy Bookcase corner unit with the added extensions above it. That whole unit was $500, which honestly is a pretty darn good price against value of what you're getting. Now, I really wanted the brown walnut version of this, but it is the most popular color for obvious reasons, so I had to buy the white, which meant we couldn't keep it white, so we gotta paint it. So my buddy Josh got started on this process for me while I was actually building the desk.
8 pieces down, a lot more to go.
Now, if you are familiar with this channel, Josh is someone who has helped me on some of my bigger DIY projects in the past. And fun fact, Vanessa is actually Josh's lovely partner in crime. And he had a day to spare and wanted to feel a part of this makeover for Vanessa. So I said, you like sanding and painting, Josh? Because that's what I need you to do. Please. So now I have bookshelves for books, but I had a feeling that she wasn't going to have enough books to fill all the shelves right away. So I wanted to find some fun, witchy, fantasy-inspired secondhand items that I could upcycle to be displayed on the shelf. And like, look at all of these fun goodies that I found. I got this cool black lantern, this lovely Victorian or Edwardian couple kissing. It might be Robin Hood, I don't know, but it was cute and romantic-y feeling. I got an array of frames and cool art pieces, this large cat, which I thought we could paint. I got this cool wizard. He was my favorite. I found an art book all about the art of Aubrey Beardsley, which happened to be Vanessa's favorite artist, so I thought we could take some of the art pieces from this book to put into frames, which there were so many to choose from. But I think my favorite art piece that I thrifted was a small frame with a mountainscape inside it, because my plan was to paint over it and turn this mountainous landscape into a picture of Valaris, which is a very well-known location in the ACOTAR book franchise, which is also featured on the shirt that I'm wearing right now. I love this shirt. It's a picture of Valaris and it says Night Court at the bottom. It's my favorite. And if you love nerdy shirts, I have a whole bunch that I love to wear that I have bought from Etsy sellers. It is linked on my shop if you just want to peruse some of the coolest nerdy shirts that are out there. I have found them all. I do really love the way that it came out though, and I also added some gold rub and buff layer to the frame, and it was a quick painting, but I think anyone who looks at it and is a fan of the series will know what they're looking at. Valaris, City of Starlight, the Court of Dreams. It's lovely. Good morning, DIY friends. It is so sunny today, and I just feel like I want to stand in the sun like Superman and just soak it all in. It feels so good. But I am doing lots of art things behind the scenes. Oh my gosh, this studio has been taken over by painting Billy Bookcases. But I have set up shop over here. I have my table set up, and we need to do a crafty art project because I had this art piece that was for Vanessa's space that was like the piece de resistance. It was this beautiful dragon tapestry. I will pop it up on screen here. It was from an Etsy seller called Ink and Shadow. It was so beautiful, and it was gonna be like this wonderful thing on the wall. However, in Canada right now we have a Canada Post strike, and that has caused anything to be delivered through the mail to not show up on time because of the strike. And I'm like, I wanna cry.
try. So I want to get crafty and make Vanessa an art piece that can be like the stand-in art piece until we can get this tapestry in place. I want to do it in this area, so I'm gonna have to clean up this area and push some things to the side so we can do this, but let me put the camera down so I can explain what we're doing. So Vanessa loves 19th century art, and as I mentioned before, she loves Aubrey Beardsley. I always remember it because I'm like Beardsley. Aubrey Beardsley, who creates this like impressionist art. And there's this style within the book that I was flipping through to pull some prints from. There's like this Japanese brushstroke style, and I kind of want to lean into that. I thought that would be easy to accomplish, but also a really fun thing to add an element of something that she loves in this space if we're going to be making art ourselves. So I found another tapestry that had this really cool dragon art on it, and I was so inspired by it that I was like, this would be cool to kind of try to brush stroke onto a piece of canvas. So I went and got some canvas, and we're gonna cut it to the size that we want for the tapestry. I'm gonna put it on the wall and project it onto the canvas, and then we're just gonna brush stroke the dragon onto the canvas, and kind of hopefully we can make a cool art piece that can hang on the wall until we get our cooler tapestry. Maybe, hopefully, yes. Let's go to Gallifrey. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a gal and we're friends, so let's go Doctor Who ourselves, you know? I think we're done. We have made art dragon. Goddess, smut, I mean romance. We got earth, and what did the bottom one mean again? Heart, heart, heart. I think it's kind of fun to have the ruins. I think it like adds something, and it certainly didn't ruin it. Dear my friends, we're on location. I'm excited. I need to show you what we drove in this morning. It is the very first snowfall of Ontario this year, well, at least where we are. And we just drove through a crazy, colossal storm, but we're in. And I got Jess here with me today. And we have IKEA stuff literally packed everywhere, but I'm gonna go show you guys the room, which I know you've already seen, but you haven't seen it empty. The room is empty and we're used to the echo. Let's go transform this office space! Woo! Here it goes.
Okay.
Piece number one.
Who put me in charge of this?
We had to individually wrap up all the boxes, cut the boxes in half and then wrap them. Every piece has a piece of paper in between to try to protect it with the paint. So I have a feeling we're probably gonna have to do some touch-ups. Regardless of how careful we were, there was still a little bit of banging. But I think this is gonna be great.
Yep, it was install day one, and Jess and I had only one goal of the day: build those bookshelves. And build we did. All the the bookcases were secured to the wall using brackets that came with Billy bookcases, and then I secured the 2 Billy bookcases that were beside each other using a purchased hardware that I got from the hardware store called a binding barrel. That is a long tube with a fitted screw at the end of it, and I simply just had to drill through the 2 Billy bookcases, add the barrel, and then screw it in.
Look how clean it is! My goodness.
I also got the doors attached. Now, I haven't actually talked about the doors yet, but I did decide to add doors on the entire bottom half of this bookshelf for 2 reasons. The first one, it removed any need for Vanessa to want to buy more books just to fill up those bookshelves. I didn't want to do that to her. And second, I think any person or any space can use extra storage. It's always welcomed. And I figured Vanessa would love the ability to be able to store space for personal things or dog things or cat things, office things, past school things, personal things, you know, the things that people don't want people to see, those things. Close the doors, it's not there anymore, like magic, those things, you know? Then as the final step to my day, I taped off the window and put on the first coat of dark green. Now I know I said no painting, but Vanessa and I agreed that painting the window was okay because it was just a small area and it would be much easier to paint back to white quickly if they did decide to move. We're gonna call it the renter compromise. So I painted it. It's officially day 2, my friends. Okay, the bookshelf is officially done and I'm so excited. Also day 2, I decided to rep my Violet Sorrengail type hair, even though I don't have long braids or silver hair anymore. But we're gonna pretend. Also got my Manon Black beat, because we gotta represent our girl, am I right? But either way, the painting is done. The hard part is done. So today we get to bring all the space together and we're starting with the light on the ceiling. Okay, friends, wait till you see this light. It is so magical.
Whoa! Okay, this is cool.
Okay, I'm like, it's like my first time. Okay, this is the first time I'm seeing it in person. I'm so excited.
Hey.
It's so good. Oh my god, I love it so much more in person than I did when I saw it. Is that not the most magical light you've ever seen, or is that not the most magical light you've ever seen? Oh, what? Wow, that's so cool. I found this bad boy on Wayfair. Oh, I just fell in love with it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's magic. Let's go do some electrical. Yes! And let there be light. Do you feel the magic? Do you?
Yeah, she's gonna love it.
You know how I know she'll love it? Because I love it so much that I think I want one in my space. So if I love it, she's gonna love it. We move on to the window. So I removed the original blind from the window, and Vanessa mentioned if I do remove it, I needed to find a solution to ensure there was privacy, but then we also talked about adding color. So I found this colorful static cling privacy window film, and it was so magical, so lovely, and the perfect solution to not only feed into the magical fantasy vibe I was trying to create, but also add color and privacy, which she asked for. From there, I added the table legs onto the desktop, flipped it over, and that's when I realized something happened in my measurements because the disc was too big.
Danie.
Whoa, wait, what? I'm gonna blame it on my dyslexia because I measured that space with the knowledge that the shelves went to that certain spot on the wall, so I must have measured and then wrote down the wrong number, which is a common thing in my life because of my dyslexia, but all is okay. It sucked, but it was fixable.
We must move on. We cannot linger.
So using a circular saw, I cut the desk down and she fit. But beyond that mix-up, I think that sword looked so dope. After the desk was in, I used my Kreg Hardware Jig to drill my hardware holes and added these beautiful brass poles I found from Amazon. Ooh, I just love a gold brass moment against green. It is so pretty. So let's talk about the closet. The kitty litter box was in there. However, the door was going to be in the way of a piece I wanted to add into the room. So another way to add a dark color block onto the wall, but also remove the door that we didn't want there, was to add this dark curtain. The cat could still get in, the closet was accessible, but wouldn't get in the way of anything I wanted to add in front of it. However, the curtain was a little long, so instead of cutting it, ruining it, I decided to hem it up and just tack it with thread.
Okay, so we have our stand-in tapestry. I do want to add some color into the moon and I think the belly, but I want to get the placement. Look how freaking cute these are. They're little tapestry clips. I found this off Amazon, and all they do is they just kind of hug, like they sandwich in your tapestry, but look how cute they are. I love them so much. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then when the real tapestry comes eventually, all she has to do is just replace it out. I love that for us. Does it look cool? Do I look like a magical dragon? I can feel the magic. Okay, I got the best chair on this freaking planet. It's wide because Vanessa said she likes to cross her legs when she sits. And like, how cozy fun is this chair? And it's on wheels. Whee!
Vanessa asked for a chair that could eat her alive when she sat into it so she could get cozy and read a book. Now, you know that I love to buy secondhand, and when I found this chair off Facebook Marketplace for $200, I was like, that's a steal, we're taking it. I was so happy that we found this because buying a chair of the similar size, brand new, would be $750 or higher.
Yeah, this is a good reading chair.
It was officially reveal day, and I was bringing in all the finishing touches, such as this swing arm lamp that I actually donated from my own home office because my office space didn't need it anymore, but I loved it so much, so I was happy to pay it forward and now let Vanessa enjoy this wonderful light. I also got these hooks installed because I don't believe in a room that doesn't have a hook for a book bag, a sweater, a blanket, whatever. Hooks are the most multifunctional thing any room can have, and this one got two. I also hung my thrifted lantern with an added faux candle for a whimsical touch. For another color pop, you know I had to find some on-theme art, and this Sarah J. Maas matchbook art with all of the locations from her collected book series was just perfection. I'm obsessed with it, and I genuinely want it myself. That's a fact. I also found this cute tarot card print that had a pink pop that said "The Reader" on it. I mean, how cute is that? In Vanessa's original mood board, she said she loved a neon moment, and I knew I had to bring this in for her, so I'm adding these cool LED strips to the top of the bookcases that she can change the color of depending on her mood. Those lights are so cool. And at last, it was finally the moment I personally had been waiting for the most in this entire makeover. It was time to style the room and bring it together. We're coming in, coming in. I'm so excited for you. This is my favorite room ever. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle you right there.
Okay.
So if you remember, your room lacked the personality that you wanted it to have. You wanted a cozy reading space. You wanted a place to read a book, drink a cup of tea, and like just lose yourself to that fantasy smut world that we love so much.
Shh, don't tell people.
You also wanted beautiful bookshelves, a dark academia feel with a little bit of neon, a little bit of pink, a little girly, but kind of a whole bunch of things combined. So let me show you your space. Are you ready?
Yes.
On 1, 2, 3.
Holy! Whoa! Oh my god! This does not look like the same room!
I know.
Holy cow!
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my god, that light is gorgeous.
Right?
This room looks huge.
It looks huge.
It's not this big.
Going with the bookshelf that has that extension really just raises that whole room up and like makes this room feel huge.
Oh my god.
It's such an illusion, but it works so well.
This is gorgeous. Oh my god, there's so many little details. The desk! Oh my god, it's anorexia! Oh my god!
Do you love it?
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. It's gorgeous.
I wanted it to have a special little surprise, you know? Something that like when you sit down at the desk, you feel like your most badass self to be a warrior and take on the day and do things for me.
Do good work.
Do good work.
This is amazing. I can't believe this was an IKEA piece.
I know, it doesn't feel like it anymore, does it?
No, must have been a lot of painting.
Not at all.
Talk about starting this year off with a fantasy-filled bang. I really wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. I hope that you enjoyed this makeover and it felt inspired. Let me know in the comment section below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you loved it. And of course, subscribe if you're not already, because we have more amazing DIY content coming your way, nerdy stuff coming your way, and I can't wait to share it all. This is just the tip of the iceberg, my friends. Of course, big love and thanks to my Patreon, my DIY family. Hey, maybe a New Year's resolution is to connect with more creative people from around the world. Then come join my Patreon. It's filled with amazing, unique people who love to share their creativity. Plus, you get to enjoy all my content early and ad-free. Hallelujah. As always, my friends, stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Here's to 2025. Woohoo! Bye-bye.